I'm Madhu Sharma and this is Design Mind. Every episode, we teach your mind about design by analysing a website. In this episode of Design Mind, we are looking at SF Arts, which is a hub for exhibitions occurring in San Francisco. The first thing that hits you about this site is how different it is from a traditional website. In many ways, it follows the design of a tablet app. Normally, putting this amount of content on the homepage would be overwhelming, but here it works well thanks to the brilliant use of contrast and hierarchy. The contrast ensures that there really is only two sections, the magazine cover here on the left and the events calendar here on the right. In addition, both sections contain a number of streamlining techniques, which increase the visual weight of each section, and so ensures the content cannot overload the user. For example, the magazine style article here on the left is relatively simple, consisting of a single bold image and a sparse amount of text. The logo is confined to the top, while the headline is constrained to the bottom, which further streamlines the area, increasing its visual weight. The images are also relatively clutter-free by limiting themselves to just a few dominant colours. In fact, the majority of the images are just in black and white. The events section is slightly more busier, but also makes use of streamlining techniques. For example, the tiles enforce a strict layout, limiting the size of each image and the amount of text. The soft grey background subtly emphasises the grid, thus bringing order to the tiles. The use of green for the navigation bar makes it jump out, and so easily accessible among the other content. Let us now analyse one of the events pages. Again, the events page contains a lot of content, but uses a strong hierarchical layout to bring balance, structure and order. This content area remains the main focus of the page, thanks to the use of white space. The info bar on the right is highlighted with a striped blue background. The blue stripes make it stand out, which is important as it contains all the key information about the exhibitions. The white stripes allow the area to still maintain a visual connection to the text content, although there is perhaps too much white space separating the two areas, which can make them feel unrelated. The bar on the left is packed with a list of other events and uses a faded colour scheme in an attempt to ensure that it is not overwhelming. Unfortunately, I don't think it works, mainly because it has too much content, which will cause most people to simply gloss over it. They should have cut down the number of events to just 12 and made sure that they were either related to the main event or occurring within the same month. I also think the content area could have done with some images to liven it up, as being limited to text is a little bit off-putting, especially as museums are primarily a visual medium. One aspect I like about the events page is this bookmark icon. Given the amount of events on the site, being able to bookmark ones that are of interest to the user is especially handy. Bookmark pages can be easily accessed from the bookmark icon in the navigation. Although a weakness of this bookmark icon is that its functionality isn't that clear, a quick tooltip on hover could have fixed this. Let us now analyse an editorial page. The editorial pages are virtually the same as the events pages, using a similar style and layout. The main difference is that they do make use of imagery, but it's limited to just an opening image. This is a shame, as the articles tend to be quite long, and so could have benefited from being broken up with images and pull quotes. This bar on the left side lists other articles. It suffers from the same problems as the bar used on the events page, but it is perhaps less off-putting thanks to these grouping headings. On the whole, however, they would have been better using image thumbnails to list other articles, as image thumbnails are more effective than text in tempting a user to click on a story. Let's analyse the navigation. The navigation consists of this streamlined bar. Its narrow size ensures that it doesn't draw attention away from the content and also allows it to make use of this bright blue background, which makes it instantly visible without dominating the page. Icons are used for the links, which further streamlines the bar. However, the icons are also quite vague. As you can see, hovering over them displays these descriptions, but they haven't been implemented that well, as they look a bit like submenus. I was quite confused at first as I was trying to click on them. It's only a minor problem, as within a second the user can understand them for what they are, but it would have been better if they looked more like tooltips. This back button is a little redundant, as it just duplicates the browser's built-in back button. The nearby button is a great feature, as it works out the user's location and then shows them a list of events occurring near them. Obviously, it's not working here because I don't live in San Francisco, but then you'd have to be living there to visit this site in the first place. The search page is particularly advanced. The user can enter keywords and then use a variety of filters to narrow down the results. Let's finish this analysis by examining the site on mobile and discussing a minor down point of the site. On mobile, the site collapses down perfectly, making the content pages easy to browse and navigate. However, the home page does take a few seconds to load due to all the content it has. One minor aspect of the site is that it doesn't actually do a good job of explaining what SF Arts is. I initially thought that these were all events from a single museum, and it only became apparent after browsing the site that it is actually an aggregator of content. On the whole, SF Arts is an unusual twist on the website formula that works fairly well. The site does suffer from an overburden of content in some areas, but the clean design means that users will be able to quite comfortably navigate through the hundreds of events to find something of interest. That's it for this episode of Design Mind. A new episode of Design Mind is released every Monday and Thursday. Find us on the web at designmind.info. Our YouTube channel is at youtube.com/designmindinfo. You can also find us on iTunes. We'd love it if you could leave us a review at any of these places. Until next time, happy designing!